What is going on, everyone? So today I'm bringing you guys another episode of my newly created series, and that is what I would like to see. In my last episode, I discussed what I would like to see in a potential 5th Hunger Games movie. If you guys have not already seen that video, I'm going to leave the link to that video in the description down below. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing what I would like to see in the very popular upcoming Star Wars Episode 9. It's a big one, guys. If you guys are curious and have no idea what I do in this series, in these videos I tell you guys what I would like to see in movies that have been announced and may be in production, movies that have been announced but might not be in production for another couple of years, or even movies that have not been announced and may never even be made, but I tell you guys what I would like to see if they ever even happen. And with this video comes Star Wars Episode 9. I am obviously really anticipating this movie in 2019. I've been waiting for it, obviously, since the end of The Last Jedi in December. Hopefully this one's a good one, but I still want to give my thoughts on what I hope is in this movie. So the first point I have is pretty obvious. We didn't get much of it in Star Wars Episode 8, but what I would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9, first and foremost, is more lightsaber action. There was barely any in Star Wars Episode 8, which is really unfortunate. I just hope we can see plenty more lightsaber duels between maybe Rey, Kylo Ren. That would be pretty sweet. We saw it in Episode 7, but I think it could be a lot better in Episode 9 now that Rey is more experienced holding the lightsaber. I just think implementing action with the lightsaber would make the movie so much more fun. I'm fine with having space battles and even action involving blasters, but let's be honest here, the real action in Star Wars comes from lightsabers, so please, J.J. Abrams, give us more of that. The second thing I would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9 is with the return of J.J. Abrams directing. I'm hoping this movie does not mirror that of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. That would be a catastrophe, in my opinion. What he did with Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, was fine, but it was just way too similar to that of A New Hope. I wish he would have changed it up a little bit. It just seemed like a mirror image almost of that movie. It was disappointing in that aspect for me. So I just hope this one is really creative and has no parallels you could draw between this and Episode 6. And if you guys have not seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, I have to give a couple spoilers to get into my next point. Number 3, what I would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9 is Kylo Ren and his development as a villain. He was fantastic, I thought, in The Last Jedi. Probably the best part of the entire movie, hands down. Adam Driver is really great as this character, and I love what Rian Johnson did with Kylo Ren. This character as the main villain now, ever since he killed Snoke, I think has so much potential to be maybe even better than the villains from the original trilogy, Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. He could be that good. So please continue adding on to his character development and villain tree. Moving forward, he needs to stay this trilogy's main villain. Adam Driver and Kylo Ren, there is so many possibilities you can do with this character. Rian Johnson, like I said, did great with him in the last movie, and I think you could do even more great things with him in Episode 9. Also, more banter between him and General Hux would be fantastic because I laughed so many times at the end of The Last Jedi when those two guys were going at it. It was hilarious. Please add in so much more of that. Alright, my next point for what I would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9. This one is a point that aggravates so many people, and I don't blame you. What I would like to see next in Star Wars Episode 9 are some answers. Like, that was one of my main flaws I had with The Last Jedi, was that we didn't get too many answers in that movie. I have no idea why they couldn't just answer a couple more, but please, at least, give us some answers to the many questions we have after the last 2 movies. Episode 7 gave us a lot of questions. Episode 8 answered a couple, but we still have a lot. Please, J.J. Abrams, just answer at least half of the questions we have remaining. There's so many, but it would just be great to at least answer the big ones that we all have. And if they don't do that, I guarantee there's gonna be some riots outside some people's houses. The next thing I would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9 is for them to stop with the bullcrap. If you guys watched Episode 7 or 8, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's just talk about some of the stuff that was bullcrap in Episode 8. Princess Leia, that whole thing. Her scene, why? I mean, I knew for a fact that was going to aggravate so many fans, and now we have no idea what they're going to do with Princess Leia in Episode 9. You could have easily just killed her off, but no, they had to keep her around. You create a lot of problems doing that. I have no idea why they even had to add in all that bullcrap for her character in that movie. And on top of that, there was even more bullcrap with Rey and how she's invincible. Her character development has been staying kind of the same throughout this trilogy. She has not progressed whatsoever. She stayed exactly the same. Her character was amazing from the beginning, being all powerful and great at everything. And by the end of Episode 8, same thing. She did not progress whatsoever. She has been exactly the same character throughout this whole trilogy. Please, give us at least some different kind of progression. And also, the last thing that was total bullcrap in The Last Jedi was the whole Finn and Rose storyline, especially the ending. When Finn was about to sacrifice himself, that was going to be something so powerful. But instead, Rose saves him for the dumbest reason whatsoever, and then they kiss? What? It would do this trilogy so much justice if they just completely cut out all the bullcrap. Those characters had a lot of it in the last two movies. It would be great if there was no more to be seen. And then finally, the last thing I would mainly like to see in Star Wars Episode 9 is the return of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin in ghost form. We saw the return of Yoda in The Last Jedi. Why not bring back both Obi-Wan and Anakin? That'd be great. I understand Disney is completely trying to cut out everything from the prequels, but I think that's a mistake because there are a lot of fans of those movies, including myself. It'd be awesome to see the return of those two characters. I have no idea why they wouldn't do that. I think all fans would love to see that. There is barely anybody I can imagine that would disagree with bringing those two characters back in the forms of ghosts. Now, obviously, there's so many other things you could talk about what we would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9. There's so many things. I can't even bring it all up. I will be honest with you guys. From the moment I first saw The Force Awakens, I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of where this trilogy was going. If I was given the chance to direct all three of these movies from the start, I would have had a completely different vision of what I would like to ultimately have seen in all three of these movies. But it is what it is. They started somewhere and now we have to finish. So from what we have right now, those are the main things I would like to see in Star Wars Episode 9. I think they can make this movie really good if they just build off of what my points were. And you obviously have to add in more emotion and character depth to make us care and to be emotionally impacted. That's what can get me involved. And of course, the action. I just hope there is a lot of it in this movie. Like I said, more lightsaber stuff, that would be excellent. That's exactly what made, in my opinion, Episode 3 one of the best Star Wars movies. Besides the character development, also the great action that film provided. We'll see if JJ decides to do any of that stuff or if he just goes in a completely different direction. I hope JJ does not screw me and a lot of other fans over. I know this movie will probably divide plenty of people once again. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fans that are in favor of this movie because J.J. Abrams is directing it and everybody seemed to love Episode 7. I wasn't one of those people. I didn't think it was a perfect movie. I thought there was a lot of flaws, but still pretty enjoyable. I thought it was a fine first movie of this trilogy, but I do feel like with him coming back, he's going to try to do a lot of similar things he did with The Force Awakens, and I just hope that it's not exactly the same thing he did with that movie. There's a lot I would have changed. I'll leave it up to JJ to make it a great movie. but obviously we'll have to see in 2 years. And until then, we're going to be getting the Han Solo movie in May, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I cannot wait for that. So guys, if there's anything you would like to see in the upcoming Star Wars Episode 9 in 2019, please let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to hear what you have to say. So my review for Annihilation is going to have to hold off for about another week. It's not playing in a theater near me. I will see it when I head home next weekend, as well as maybe also see Game Night. We'll see about that. I will most likely be reviewing Annihilation, though, in about a week. In place of my movie reviews this week, however, I will be doing something different. Since the Oscars is a week from tomorrow, I'm going to be making some videos that are building up to this year's Oscars. I am really looking forward to making those videos for you guys. I hope you're also very excited. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.